Hi there, tarot lovers. Okay, so we've got cards for today because two of them popped out today, and check out what we've got. We've got the Devil reversed and the Seven of Pentacles. Two really interesting cards. Now, I could run through what this means, and I can run through what this means as well. But I was sitting with these cards in my meditation this morning, then I went out for a walk, and then I came back, and so I'm a bit late bringing this message out today, but I was getting some super interesting downloads because I'm taking these whole messages as a journey for me in my own personal shadow work to look at and to take a look. And when the Devil comes out, I mean, this is the king of the shadow, and he is the guy that really spells out to us all of our darkness and all of what we have hidden in the occult areas of our subconscious and unconscious self. And he comes out with this card. So I take a look at this card and I was like, so what is that about? What is there in my shadow personally? I'd just like to share you my personal story today, which might or might not relate to you in some way or another, but maybe look more general to the energetics and see if you can't, resonate in some way, because your story might have your own personal details attached to it. So for me, this is a card that normally signifies abundance, victory, and success. It's the Seven of Netzach and Venus, and it's Friday today, so it's kind of Venus's day. So we've got this energy of abundance, which is in this card. You see the guy. He's looking at his harvest and this crop that of pentacles that are there, and he's looking at them, and he's not really like, oh, whoop-de-doo, look what I've got. It's like, and there's this kind of feeling like there's a lack here. Even though there's abundance, there's lack. Now, I relate to this card completely in that, the material world that we put our goals all in, and we say, oh, I want all of this, and I want that story, I want the other, and then we strive to get it, and we get it, and we're like, okay, that hasn't really quenched my satisfaction. I'm still thirsty, I still want more, and it's just this desire story where we want more all the time, and those desires can really never be satisfied, and especially they can't really be satisfied by anything material or physical. So the material world, you want a car and you work really hard, you get a car, and you got the car, and then you're happy for a while, but then you realize this isn't where our true satisfaction, our true sense of worth, our true sense of success really sits. And I mean, I relate to this card completely in that I give less importance to material success than I do a more spiritual success, which is part of the issue. So when I'm looking at this card, I'm going, okay, so what is that got to teach me about my shadow? And there are two things here, so I'm going to want to talk about both. Two things that I'm seeing right now. Maybe there's 100 more things, but right now in me, there's two clear things, because this is also a relationship with money. So I'm looking at, and I was just looking at it anyway yesterday and today, and I was going to say, I've got to dive into my abundance story, which I have an issue with, about not being able to receive abundance, and it's. And I really need to get to the bottom of this and see it clearly. I've already seen so many other reasons and different patterns, and I have an issue with receiving and this. But today I was looking at this, and the Devil, when he's upside down, it's like, this is something you don't want to see for some reason. This is something that you are invested in not looking at, in not understanding. There's a part of you who is invested in not understanding the shadow aspect of your relationship with, in this case, I was thinking money and abundance and all of that fruit on the tree. And I was thinking, okay, so because I've had feelings of abundance, and there's always a flow when that happens, and it's great, but I've never been like abundant. Why? Because I don't give importance to it. I haven't. Part of me on one front is like, has this very sort of, in a way, I look down upon the material world, and I'm looking like this guy's looking down upon the material world again. Yeah, material world, great. Physical world, great, fantastic. Yeah, but that's not where it is. And this started bringing echoes back into my life about people, would see a house that I built, and they go, oh my God, it's an amazing house. Look at that. Oh, look at your garden that you made. Oh, that's amazing what you've done. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not amazing. No, I'm not really. I can't feel good about building that. It's just a house, it's just a garden, it's just this, it's just that. And And I realized that I look down upon the material world. I must look down in a way upon my own body in the same with the same dynamics. And this is this has been part of my kind of spiritual journey, or my journey with spirituality for such a long time, that I've started to, give more importance to everything that's emotionally inspirational and uplifting, mentally expanding out of our normal limited belief systems and closed boxes, and anything that's spiritually, psychically, intuitively fantastic. I give importance to these things way over anything physical. And I say, wow, this is a blockage for me, because I'm not giving importance to the physical world. I'm actually, giving less importance to the physical world, when in reality, that's a load of crap. It's a load of bullshit. And I know that. And yet I've got this, and I was seeing this unconscious pattern. But you've got that little sort of arrogance towards the material world. And I go, oh my God, I really do. I so have. I judge materiality in a bad way and don't celebrate it as it could be. And I've realized, oh my God, that's so limiting. It's so limiting to the way I express and share and accept into my life this abundance that I'm looking for. That on one level. And on another level, I'm going to run through this so it doesn't get too quick. On another level, and this was even a deeper realization, I was thinking, okay, so what happens when I get abundant? Why am I afraid of that? What happens if I'm like so wealthy and rich that I'm like, that I'm super abundant? I go, well, I'm free to do what I want. I can go and do this and that and everything. I can just imagine positive things. I never had this talking in my mind from my parents that were saying like, oh no, being rich is bad. No, look at those wealthy people. I didn't have those obvious negative connotations about abundance and wealth. I didn't think we were like middle class, so we didn't really lack anything. We weren't like, we all had to like look at the price of the stuff on the supermarket shelves, but it's not like we were lacking. And yet, I don't have any negative judgment about wealth or anything. Maybe a tiny bit I did have, but I don't really relate to that anymore. And so I'm thinking about it. I go, well, if I'm really abundant, then why would I be afraid of being free and independent and not needing anybody else? And then, bing, this idea came into my head, like not needing anybody else. And then I went back into my past and I realized, as a child, I got love and attention by sulking in my room because if I was like angry and rah and all that. That was my brother's method of getting attention. Mine was just go and sulk in my room and be angry until Mum would come to me and say, "Are you all right?" And say, "Yeah, I'm all right." But that would I would like attract that attention and love by being in my own personal crisis. And so I only realized, oh my God, I actually attract crisis into my life so that I can get saved by my mom or loved by my mom. And if I'm independent and I've got loads of money, then I'm never really in that financial crisis and nobody can come and save me from that. And I won't be. And if I'm super wealthy and abundant, then everything's going well in my life, then I won't attract love or attention or that, that care that I'm so desperate for, or that my inner child was so desperate for when I was growing up. And I realized, oh my God, this is like an inner child story that really needs to be healed and needs to be looked at and loved and embraced. And so I dived into that in my meditation. And this is a big realization of the devil and this manifestation story of abundance and this ability to receive. I realize, the way that I'm most safely receiving is, when I actually allow myself to receive, is when I'm in a crisis, and not when everything's going well. So I can't make everything go well, otherwise I won't receive. And I really do want to receive. Woo, so there's the circular story of attachment to receiving in certain dynamics and certain ways. And I realize that there's a part of me that's invested in keeping my inner child safe by getting myself into crises so that I can attract love and be saved by somebody. And I thought, wow, what a limiting way of interaction. And it's super interesting to see, super beautiful. And I understand that this is my inner therapy of working with my own inner child, and this is the shadow that needs to be released about how I can actually learn to receive and embrace more abundance. I'll tell you in about 6 months' time whether it's working or not. But, yeah, I can see this is a big, big realization on some level, and I'm sure that some of you will relate to this in another level, you know, so in another way, but maybe with similar types of dynamics. Either way, it's this dynamic of the inner child needing a certain getting his needs met in a certain way that then carry over into our adult life, where that inner child's needs, you know, are still fighting for that same love and attention in the same way, but then in adult circumstances which don't seem to relate to those child circumstances, but energetically they completely relate. And the devil reversed means a ton of other stuff, and this Seven of Pentacles also can be read in different ways. But I'll leave you with this this short reading today, because this is a little bit more pertinent to me in my personal life right now, and this is all about working with the shadow, and I hope that it helps you in some way or another work with your shadow. And if you want to share this with anybody, or just, you know, or just tell anybody that might be having issues with abundance, just, hey, maybe this could relate to you in some way or another, then go for it. And I hope it helps you if you do too. And let's all learn to receive and be a little bit more abundant in our lives, because these childhood stories don't need to last forever. Big kiss, big love, and abundance for everyone today.